Well, the murder of George Floyd brought on an urgent focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion in our institutions. But the political pendulum has swung back, making many DEI programs DOA.
And that's especially noticeable in colleges and universities. THV11's Maya Ellison reports on the way lawmakers expect to approach the controversy after the election.
Universities in the state of Arkansas have been involved in conversations surrounding diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, for years. But what exactly is it?
An effort to basically make sure that you're intentional about making your student body or your workplace inclusive of all cultures, ethnicities, and just different persons, different personalities.
This week, the Higher Education Subcommittee met to continue these DEI conversations, expanding on the for and against arguments of what the future holds for higher ed institutions.
Focus on what is going on with the LEARNS Act and education, the transition to having our higher ed people work with K-12, career training, CTE. That was really the focus.
State leaders like Subcommittee Co-Chair Senator Dan Sullivan shared his thoughts on why he believes DEI should be removed from the state's collegiate institutions, explaining that it stops students from gaining equal treatment.
At some point, we're going to have to turn the corner and said, we're all equal. Everybody is preferred, and that's our goal.
On the other hand, some state leaders like Senator Frederick Love believe DEI is beneficial for all students who are underrepresented.
These are movements that are intentional to ensure that the educational space or the workspace is reflective of what America looks like.
And as both political parties continue conversations surrounding DEI, Arkansans are left wondering, where do we go next?
Our next phase is to call in that and move on to the legislative portion, which will start in January.
We're trying to make an effort not to bring unqualified students into the classroom, but bring qualified students into the classroom to make sure that educational experience is more inclusive.
In Little Rock, Maya Ellison, THV11 News.
Maya, thank you. Senator Sullivan says that the subcommittee is going to review that study, and much like we mentioned with the state gun laws a moment ago, expect those reviews to turn into bills during the next legislative session.